Right now, across the world, millions of chickens are being crammed into crates, stacked onto trucks, and flown across oceans. Every mile is a battle against heat, exhaustion, and time itself. One mistake, too much crowding, a ventilation failure, a delay at the border, and thousands will never make it alive. One mistake, too much crowding, a ventilation failure, a delay at the border, and thousands could die before they ever reach their destination. Chickens aren't cargo. They're fragile, panicky, and unpredictable. A sharp turn, a loud noise. Suddenly, thousands of birds are flapping, clawing, piling on top of each other. One moment of chaos can mean mass casualties. That's why poultry transport isn't just about speed. It's about survival. Everything has to be just right. The airflow, the temperature, the space between each bird. The margin for error? Almost zero. But demand for chicken is skyrocketing. Fast food chains, grocery stores, and restaurants across the world need billions of birds every year. The poultry industry has no choice. It must move millions of chickens every single day without fail. That means high-tech trucks, specially designed containers, and even climate-controlled cargo planes. How do farmers and logistics companies pull off this massive operation? What happens inside those giant trailers rumbling down the highway? And what's the future of poultry transport? Will we one day see self-driving trucks or AI-controlled climate systems keeping chickens alive on long journeys? This is the hidden world of poultry transport, a world of speed, science, and survival. Let's start at the beginning, the farm, where the journey of millions of chickens begins. It starts in the early hours of the morning, before the sun has even risen. A thick mist lingers over the farm as workers prepare for one of the most delicate and demanding tasks in agriculture, moving thousands of live chickens in a matter of hours. This is not a simple job. Each bird is fragile, prone to stress, and packed with instincts that can turn an orderly process into chaos. One wrong move, one moment of panic, and a domino effect begins. Wings flapping wildly, birds colliding, injuries piling up. The key to poultry transport is precision. Every step must be calculated to minimize stress, maximize efficiency, and prevent losses. But before a single truck moves, the real challenge begins: catching thousands of live birds without triggering chaos. In the past, workers grabbed chickens by the legs, dozens at a time, fast but brutal. Bruised wings, crushed bodies, even suffocation. Some shipments lost 3% of their cargo before they even left the farm. But with global demand soaring, the industry had to evolve. Today, many poultry farms rely on automated catching systems, which gently sweep chickens onto conveyor belts before guiding them into transport crates. This method is not only faster but significantly reduces injuries. Less struggling, less panic, fewer losses. Once secured in ventilated transport crates, the birds are moved to waiting trucks. These aren't ordinary vehicles. They're designed to function as mobile microclimates, carefully controlling temperature and airflow. Why? Because chickens are incredibly sensitive to heat and lack the ability to regulate their own body temperature effectively. If the airflow fails or the interior becomes too hot, heat stress can kill thousands of birds within minutes. That's why modern poultry trucks are built with specialized ventilation systems, some using forced air cooling technology, others equipped with real-time temperature sensors that constantly monitor conditions. If something goes wrong, the driver receives an immediate alert. In some cases, automated cooling adjustments kick in, preventing a disaster before it happens. Inside the truck, the chickens sit tightly packed in their crates. Too much space, and they risk shifting during transport, which could cause injury. Too little space, and they could suffocate. The balance must be perfect. Regulations vary across countries, but a standard poultry truck can carry anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 birds in a single load. The conditions inside must be carefully controlled, with drivers ensuring steady airflow, stable temperatures, and a smooth ride. For short-haul trips, those lasting just a few hours, the risks are lower. Most of these journeys take chickens from the farm to a nearby processing plant, where they will be slaughtered, cleaned, and prepared for market. The biggest concern on these shorter trips is often delays. If a truck is caught in traffic or forced to stop for too long, the heat inside can rise dangerously fast. That's why some transport companies use route planning AI systems that calculate the fastest, least congested path to the destination. Every second matters. Long-haul transport, however, is a far greater challenge. Some chickens are moved hundreds, even thousands of miles to reach their final processing facilities. Others are destined for international markets, requiring them to be transported not just by road, but also by sea or air. The longer the journey, the greater the risks. Every year, Brazil exports over 4 million tons of chicken, enough to feed entire nations. These birds travel thousands of miles across the globe, enduring weeks at sea before landing in China, the Middle East, or Europe. Their journey isn't just long. It's a test of survival. To survive these journeys, live birds must be kept under strict climate control. Ships transporting live poultry use pressurized, temperature-regulated cargo areas with constant monitoring. Some vessels are even equipped with oxygen control systems, ensuring the birds remain in optimal conditions throughout the voyage. For poultry transported by air, the process is even more complex. Live chickens are packed into reinforced, ventilated crates and loaded into climate-controlled cargo holds. But space is limited and air freight is expensive. This is why many companies prefer to transport fertilized eggs rather than live birds, allowing hatchlings to be born closer to their final destinations. It's safer, cheaper, and far easier to control. Regardless of the method, truck, ship, or plane, the goal remains the same. Get the chickens to their destination as quickly and safely as possible. But speed isn't just about survival. It's also about money. Every extra hour in transit means greater weight loss. A chicken that starts the journey at 5 pounds might arrive at 4.8 pounds. Multiply that by millions of birds, and the financial losses add up fast. This is why poultry transport operates on razor-thin schedules, with no room for unnecessary stops or inefficiencies. However, even with the best systems in place, things don't always go according to plan. Extreme weather can wreak havoc, causing temperature spikes that overwhelm cooling systems. Avian diseases, like bird flu, can shut down entire supply chains overnight, forcing transport companies to reroute or even cull birds in transit. Mechanical failures, customs delays, and driver fatigue add further layers of risk. Moving chickens from farm to market is a delicate balancing act, one that requires constant vigilance, adaptation, and innovation. Yet despite these challenges, the poultry industry continues to push forward, finding new ways to improve efficiency and reduce losses. Some companies are experimenting with AI-driven logistics, using predictive analytics to foresee and prevent transport issues before they occur. Others are investing in fully automated poultry transport systems, designed to minimize human handling and further reduce stress on the birds. The journey from farm to market is just the first step. The next challenge? Keeping chickens alive, healthy, and stress-free on long-distance routes, whether by land, sea, or air. Because in the world of poultry transport, survival isn't just about keeping birds alive. It's about ensuring that when they arrive, they're still in the best possible condition for the next stage of the process. Transporting live chickens isn't just about moving birds from one place to another. It's a race against time, temperature, and stress, where one small mistake can mean mass casualties. Unlike grain or packaged meat, chickens are fragile. They overheat easily, panic under stress, and can suffocate in crowded conditions. Every journey is a delicate balancing act between speed, survival, and cost. Heat stress is the #1 killer. Chickens can't sweat, relying on panting to cool down. But inside a packed transport crate, surrounded by thousands of other birds, their body heat rises fast. If ventilation fails or temperatures spike, disaster can strike in minutes. Thousands of birds can die before a driver even realizes something is wrong. This is why modern poultry trucks are designed with high-powered ventilation systems, real-time temperature sensors, and even misting units to cool the birds during transit. In some regions, especially in hot climates like Brazil, India, or the Middle East, trucks must operate at night to avoid deadly daytime heat. But heat isn't the only danger. Stress is just as lethal. Chickens are packed tightly in crates, stacked by the thousands. Any sudden movement, a hard break, a sharp turn, can trigger panic. Wings flap, birds trample each other, injuries pile up. To reduce this, modern transporters use smooth suspension systems, gentle handling techniques, and AI route optimization to avoid bumpy roads and traffic delays. Even a few extra hours in transit can lead to higher mortality rates and significant financial losses. Then there's the constant threat of disease. Avian influenza and Newcastle disease can spread rapidly in confined transport spaces. One infected bird can wipe out an entire shipment and trigger nationwide poultry bans. That's why many countries enforce strict biosecurity protocols, requiring disinfection of trucks between loads and mandatory veterinary inspections before birds cross borders. In extreme cases, entire transport routes are shut down to contain an outbreak. This happened in 2015 when a bird flu outbreak in the US led to 50 million poultry deaths and worldwide trade disruptions. Even with these precautions, bureaucratic delays can turn transport into a nightmare. When moving live birds across borders, every country has its own health requirements, paperwork, and inspection protocols. If a truck is stuck at customs for too long, chickens can overheat, starve, or suffocate. One of the worst cases occurred in 2005 when 150,000 chickens from China were stranded at the Russian border. Most died before the dispute was resolved. Infrastructure also plays a huge role. In regions with poor roads, extreme climates, or unreliable electricity, transport risks skyrocket. In parts of Africa and South Asia, where refrigeration is inconsistent, poultry losses are significantly higher. Even in developed countries, a highway accident, equipment failure, or unexpected storm can cause devastating losses in minutes. Despite these challenges, poultry transport keeps evolving. Better truck designs, AI-driven logistics, and stricter regulations are improving survival rates. Some companies are testing self-driving poultry trucks, while others are developing gene-edited chickens that handle stress better. But technology alone isn't enough. The industry must find a way to balance efficiency with humane treatment. Because in the world of poultry transport, survival isn't just about reaching the destination. It's about ensuring the journey doesn't turn into suffering. As global demand for chicken soars, the pressure to transport birds faster, safer, and more humanely is driving rapid innovation. Every year, billions of chickens move across highways, oceans, and even the skies. To reduce losses, cut costs, and improve animal welfare, the poultry industry is turning to smart technology, automation, and cutting-edge logistics. One of the biggest breakthroughs is real-time monitoring systems. Modern poultry trucks are now equipped with IoT sensors that track temperature, humidity, and airflow inside the cargo hold. If conditions become unsafe, the system instantly alerts the driver or adjusts ventilation automatically. Some companies even use AI-powered prediction models that anticipate heat waves, road delays, or mechanical failures, allowing transporters to reroute or take preventive measures before disaster strikes. But innovation isn't just about technology, it's also about design. Next-generation transport crates are being engineered with better ventilation, shock absorption, and stress-reducing features. Traditional stacked crates often block airflow, increasing the risk of overheating. New modular crate designs optimize air circulation, ensuring every bird gets fresh oxygen throughout the journey. Some companies are even experimenting with adjustable crate spacing, expanding during transit to give chickens more room while still maximizing truck capacity. For long-haul poultry transport, sustainability is becoming a major focus. Diesel-powered poultry trucks release massive amounts of carbon emissions, but that's beginning to change. Companies are testing electric and hybrid poultry trucks that reduce fuel consumption and keep ventilation systems running even when the vehicle is stopped in traffic. In Norway and the Netherlands, solar-powered poultry transport is already being tested, reducing both emissions and operating costs. When it comes to international shipping, climate-controlled cargo planes are revolutionizing how live birds move across continents. Rather than stuffing crates into standard aircraft holds, specialized poultry planes maintain precise temperature and oxygen levels, reducing stress and mortality rates. Meanwhile, some poultry exporters are shifting from live bird transport to fertilized egg transport, allowing chickens to hatch closer to their destination, avoiding the risks of long-distance live transport altogether. Automation is also reshaping poultry logistics. Fully robotic loading systems are replacing human workers, moving chickens into crates with greater precision and minimal stress. These machines can handle thousands of birds per hour, ensuring faster, smoother operations while reducing injuries. In the future, AI-controlled self-driving trucks could further optimize routes, prevent accidents, and monitor animal welfare in real time, making poultry transport smarter and more efficient. But perhaps the most revolutionary shift on the horizon is lab-grown poultry. Companies are already developing cell-cultured chicken meat, grown in bioreactors instead of being raised on farms. If scaled successfully, this technology could eliminate the need for live poultry transport altogether, ending concerns about stress, disease, and mortality during transit. From AI-driven logistics to sustainable transport and even lab-grown alternatives, the future of poultry transport is changing fast. But the biggest challenge remains, ensuring that as efficiency improves, animal welfare doesn't take a backseat. The industry must decide, will innovation serve only profit, or will it also protect the billions of birds that make this journey every year? Every day, millions of chickens are loaded into crates, packed onto trucks, and shipped across vast distances. Some will travel just a few hours to a processing plant. Others will cross entire continents, enduring heat, stress, and uncertainty. Behind every chicken nugget, every grilled fillet, every supermarket aisle filled with poultry lies an enormous, unseen effort. A network of farmers, transporters, and logistics experts working around the clock to keep the system moving. It's a race against time, where temperature, handling, and logistics determine whether birds arrive in good condition or suffer unnecessary losses. But the future of poultry transport is evolving. AI-driven monitoring, climate-controlled cargo, and electric-powered trucks are transforming the industry, making transport faster, safer, and more efficient. At the same time, the rise of lab-grown chicken could one day eliminate the need for live poultry transport altogether. Yet, even with all these advancements, one fundamental question remains. How do we balance efficiency with humane treatment? The poultry industry is one of the most streamlined in the world, but technology alone can't replace ethical responsibility. The next time you grab a pack of chicken at the store, pause for a moment. That meat didn't just appear. It crossed oceans, highways, and borders, surviving heat, stress, and exhaustion to reach your plate. Behind every bite is a hidden world of logistics, technology, and hard decisions. The question is, how much of that journey should we accept, and how much should we demand to change?